Yeah, so she was talking about hoping to, if not run her own institution, at least work for somebody who's involved in the same thing or training. So when you said you'd like to get into to something like this, I know the IT industry is an area where your skills would be valued. So what would you be able to really impart to a youngster who walks in?
It depends on the kind of students that, they are employees that I'm going to get, whether they are already in little senior level or they're the just joined kids.
Okay.
Probably that's what if these kids are going to take up assignments, they go to 1 year for US or they go 1 year to Europe.
Yeah, some postings somewhere.
So some postings outside the country where it is so different. There are certain things that is part of our culture and nobody can change that.
Yes.
And a lot of countries are beginning to accept, as I said, it's a global village. People from different countries
you accept
are
my
working.
flaws as I accept your flaws.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But basic manners and courtesy of not pushing in queue or
and not breaking a line, as you
said. And little bit of table manners, or if you're invited, wait for the hostess.
Blowing your nose in public and other disgusting things like that.
And
spitting.
So it depends. First, you have to profile your students.
Okay.
And because you might have to have 20 students. Out of that, 10 may be absolutely bang on because they're used to it at home or in the colleges where they have studied their social environment.
So they're already almost there. So just need a little bit of
fine-tuning.
Yeah.
It's only for the fine-tuning.
But you've been in the sector where you're doing whatever training you're doing. Again, you're doing it now for stewardesses or air hostesses who want to get into the airline. Isn't that
That's right. Young students who come
so
with the hope.
The needs of that industry is obviously going to be quite different from the phone BPO where they just got to...
Yes. Because BPO, they're not seeing anyone's face. They're only being polite and trying to sell a product or helping a customer.
Or not annoying him.
Yes. But here, it's also a lot speaks with your facial expression. So that's why we teach them.
You're also a company's, the face of the company, so you need to...
Ambassador, you're representing.
True.
You're the first person who, for example, a receptionist in a very nice multinational corporation. You enter there, she's the first person who's going to make an impression on you.
True.
Or when you telephone, if she doesn't say a good morning and address you properly and mention the name of the company and just say a hello,
or they say,
it is not the right thing to do.
Yes. But is it something that you are finding that people are less polite these days, or is it that it's just a wrong impression that we have and that they're losing manners and everybody's still the same?
I don't know whether I would can generalize, but I think the language itself is changing because with all the short forms and probably they're always in a hurry and their interests are different and their way of thinking has changed.
Okay.
So maybe the older aspects of finer ways of behavior is not so important to the young generation anymore, which is sad. Okay. Because I think as we grow older, it's empathy. We want a certain amount of respect,
civilized
parents,
behavior.
And yes, they expect. So why not inculcate
But I'm
this?
quite surprised to hear you say that. Okay, it's not so important. Maybe in the sense you are accepting it. You say, "Theek, that's the way it's going."
No, that's where the level of changes could come through people.
Okay, so you think
to
you can
make
bring
them
back...
understand? Yes, I'm sure the younger people would be willing to listen if it's put to them in a nice way.
Even if you don't go and run into a full-fledged outfit, do you think you could go and talk to school kids and people like that in your spare time? Will you be able to lend your skills to, let's say, a convent school says, "Would you come over, Elsie, and just give our kids a little talk?" So would you be open for that?
Yes.
And of course, they're paying you for it.
Yes, a little older.
The senior girls.
Like 12th standard who are stepping into a college. Now, college life is so different. And college students who are going into this world for a job or even to get married. Some of them get married and go abroad.
True.
So maybe there are so many things, not big things, but small things that
they make the little
may
difference.
be valuable to them.
That's true.
To make a difference, yes.
So maybe this might be an area which, you haven't explored it, but it could be possible that you could say, I'll do the same thing for schools. Maybe actually walk up to some of the schools in town and say, listen, I'd be more than willing to come and teach boys and girls, polite role playing as you do, guests and...
Yes, role playing. I have always believed in role playing in my training because that takes the edge of someone going on talking. Their mind will not wander because they are involved there. They want to upbeat the other one. I see the competitive spirit when I do this in my training institute at Frankfinn. Okay. When I have role play on emergencies, cabin service, dealing with difficult passengers, difficult situations, when I give them different roles to play, and they are completely different.
And they probably
students.
Remember it when they
remember it, and then they feel, oh yes, I have to do like.
And that's part of the training. Like if you are flying in a plane and some tricky situations rising up, and they know not to panic.
How to and you have to deal with it. That time nobody's going to tell you open that door or take out the fire extinguisher. You're your boss. Your instincts, your good training, your good sense is what's going to take you through, not years and years of service.
So Elsie, it's been lovely talking to you, and I hope whatever you want to impart to the kids of today, you actually get an opportunity.
I hope so.
And I really hope. And thank you for coming. And it's been lovely having you here. And
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.